Happy Wednesday. You are tuned in to Transitions, Life, Lessons, and Legacy with Hyacinth and Robert Henderson Jr.
Yes. Yes. How you guys doing? Happy, 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 very happy, happy, happy Wednesday. Yes. Yes.
What's up? How you feeling?
I feel pretty good, especially after the verdict and with George Floyd. I mean
Mm-hmm.
that brings some decency.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it went the other way
It makes
around,
the unsavage savage.
yeah, kind of. I mean, but I'm pretty sure some of the people that's in the dark, they want to be, they want to make them matter. You know what I mean? They want to go
Absolutely.
out and do stuff. So not like, I mean, when you're rejoicing, there's a lot of people that are,
Mm-hmm.
miserable.
Absolutely.
Because when light come, darkness is really don't want to go away,
Mm-hmm.
and darkness is always eager to come, and darkness is always plotting. But light will come again. But that's just a struggle, and we'll have that. So I don't think there's a one thing that fix it all. It's a lot of stuff that's been going on throughout the history of America.
Absolutely.
One of the great shows that I watched over the weekend, believe it or not, late at night, and I texted to you,
Mm-hmm.
Chris, Ruffin,
Mm-hmm.
and Tonio,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody in the office, and Amazon got this series, a 10-part series, and it's
Mm-hmm.
called Them, Them.
Wow.
That thing has a lot of metaphoric messages, Heisey.
Really? I think I saw
Wow.
that, but you texted to me yesterday, and I got to add it to my things
It
to
is
do
so
list.
relevant. I mean, it is
Okay.
it tells you exactly what's going on. It's called Them, Them. And it starts
Okay.
off like in 1947 with this black family, and they
Okay.
migrate from the South, North
Okay.
Carolina, with racist people,
Mm-hmm.
and then they went to the North, and during the Great Migration, because my mother was in Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
and then she moved to Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was like 6 to 8 million people of color that left the South.
Right.
The South was just like, oh my God, they weren't even humans.
Right.
What they were doing to black people, and then they moved to like New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Then they moved to a lot of them moved to California,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's how the story starts. But the story, instead of being just entertained,
Mm-hmm.
it has a lot of meaning that how black kids, the husband, the
Mm-hmm.
wife, mentally, how the racism and just always being targeted, how it just beats you down, how you have to overcome. You follow me?
Yeah.
And it's just, but it's also some metaphysics and there's some spirituality throughout the show.
Okay.
But you can't just look at it as being entertaining.
Right.
You got to look at the message that's in this.
A deeper meaning.
Oh man,
Okay. I gotta check that
because
out.
it's a guy that comes out, only they can see it, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like each of them, and it's like a third party, but it's somebody in top hat,
Okay.
and a black face,
Oh, okay. Okay.
and it's basically telling them, like go and do something or be revengeful.
Okay.
It's like the dark side.
Okay.
It's telling you to go start the fire or go slap this person's face. It's that negative and positive, that pull that you have, that we all have.
The lower and higher
That
self.
lower and higher self. It's a battle of lower and higher self, and it says that people that don't look like you really represent the lower self, and they really your whole life they're trying to pull you down, and you got to keep saying no.
Okay.
And him and his wife kept saying all of the trials and tribulations of moving into an all-white neighborhood. They kept looking at each other and saying, "Listen, we got this.
Okay.
We're not going to let them run us away."
Okay.
And in the end, they do have it.
They got it. 10 series.
Yes.
Is an hour long?
Yes.
So 10 hours.
Yes.
Okay.
But you can do it in time. But I'm telling you,
Okay.
don't just look at it for the entertainment.
Well,
Look at
I always
because
look at a
the
deeper meaning.
message.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Because one scene, Chris said this too. He said his wife had, and Natalie, my wife, she said the same thing. Natalie said was when they seen in North Carolina, these white people came and took this lady baby and put it and started throwing it around in a sack and killed the baby. They didn't want to watch it no more.
Okay.
But it has a meaning
To it. Yeah. Wow.
You got to watch that. You should watch it with the kids too.
Okay. We'll see. We got to test 10 hours. We'll get into it. Well, you know what? On Mother's Day,
it's
we
education.
generally, we stay in bed, we lounge around, and we'll watch something. Last Mother's Day, we watched Michelle Obama's
Yes.
documentary. We watched something else. One of my favorites, probably Coco or something like that.
It's very educational because you got to be strong, man. Because there's something that was written that says that if it doesn't challenge you,
don't change it.
it doesn't change you. a lot of your trials and tribulations, if you made it through, you didn't give up, it has really made you grow.
It absolutely has.
Think about it.
Yeah.
All of them, setbacks, seemingly setback, mistakes, or whatever you overcome, those were challenges. But if you stick in there and keep on, this too shall pass. It should have changed you for the better.
It's a change in perspective.
Yes.
What you're asking the masters to do, what you're sharing with us, is asking us to change our perspective.
Yes.
And instead of looking at it as a challenge, say, how is this changing me? This is changing me. And I'll go ahead and, if you want to be positive, this is changing me for the better. In some way, this challenge is changing me. And I know that on the other side of change is a whole new environment, is a whole new me. There's so much depth to the change.
Yes.
But you have to change your perspective to be able to see it that way. I love that.
Yes, and you have to be able to be strong and keep your eye on the prize, because these challenges are going to keep coming up. They're going to show up in all facets of your life, all shapes, sizes. They could be family member, they could be strangers, but they're going to keep on trying you just to see if you can get through this course, this obstacle. This Facebook, we can't see people that signing on anymore. I don't know, the format.
Oh, the
changed.
Comments. Oh, you know what? You're right. You're
find
right
out about that, especially for.
I will, because we don't want you all to think we're ignoring you.
Right.
Yes, it does say that. Well, it happened. It was that way last week as well, and I guess we thought that Facebook would have fixed it this week, but it hasn't. So we see somebody has commented. It shows one comment, but doesn't show who commented. So if you are here and you're the person that left us a comment, thank you so much for your comment. We're sending you our energy right back to you. You are listening to Transitions, Life Lessons, and Legacy with Hyacinth and Robert Henderson. And today we're going to talk about environment. Before we get into that, if you're new here, I do understand that you may be watching this on Facebook. Perhaps you're watching the replay on YouTube. Shout out to our YouTube family.
Yes.
We have a YouTube family of people who write us, who leave comments. And shout out to you all. Speaking of which, Soap Fan Addict, I don't know why YouTube keeps deleting your comments. So I'll get the email notification of where you summarize the entire show. But by the time I click YouTube, they deleted your comment. I don't know if they're marking that spam. So I don't want you to think that I'm deleting your comment. I appreciate your comments. All right. So if you're new here, if you're just tuning in to us and learning about us at the Henderson Financial Group, by day, we are the dynamic daddy-daughter duo, and we run the Henderson Financial Group, which is a full-service financial planning and investment advisory firm. We've been around for 30 years. It was founded by none other than
Robert Henderson Jr., certified financial planner, founder, president of the Henderson Financial Group. Just when you say founder.
I do. It's so
and I'm
powerful.
a certified tax coach also.
Yes.
And, I went to school for architecture, and I wanted to design and create. But that didn't pan out. I wanted to do something more because I had limitations to me. And so I got into the financial services field, and it's also creating.
I was going to say you're still designing and creating.
But it's unlimited.
Yeah, unlimited. And you're helping more people.
Yes.
You're helping more people.
Yes.
All
helping
right.
a whole lot of people, man. I mean, I'm getting people now that they said they heard me or they read my book, and they was in high school. Now they're finished college and they're working. Now they're coming back and saying, hey, I want to do work with you.
Yes, I love that.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Yeah, so I really like that, because I do think that, you really should touch other people's lives. And I think that, we all can be great because we all can serve. And really, the greater you are, the more you serve. So you want to serve. You got to ask yourself, who are you serving? It's just you. You should be serving someone, man, helping people. That's what it's all about, serving.
That's what it is about. That's how you feel fulfilled doing that.
Yes, that's how the universe, the creator of the heavens and the earth, he made it
together.
where you can actually, if you really want to feel good, if you're feeling bad, as a matter of fact, go and help somebody.
Yes.
With their problems. It'll occupy your mind. It'll make you feel worthy that you're doing something, that you're helping. And it's just a good feeling, And I happen to make a living doing it, so we really love what we're doing, and it's constantly learning and changing. The whole financial world never stays stagnant. It's always something new. There's new laws, there are new strategies, there are new investments. There's always a better way to do it, and we really, really like that. So that keeps us going. So we never bored. Every day is different for us, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Every day is different.
It's no one size fits all. Every day is the same day. Clock in, clock out. It's just like, okay, how are we going to save the world today?
Yes.
How are we going to share today? So if you're here, thank you so much for being here. When you speak about change, that made me think about environment. And as I was heading into the office, I passed by Miami Lakes It's not Miami Lakes Park. The park that used to be next to Joella Good Elementary.
Yes.
Now, back when I went to Joella Good
Country
Club, when I attended Joella Good Elementary in Miami Lakes, it was just an open field.
Right.
Do you remember?
Of course I remember.
It was just an open field.
Yes.
And now they have built it up. Have you driven past there lately?
Yes.
It is a baseball.
Yes.
They have the diamond, the baseball diamond, and the big
developed.
net. It's developed.
Changed.
Now, it didn't develop. It's been quite some time.
Yes.
It took some time for it to develop.
Yes.
But it developed.
Because I bought in Miami Lakes. I bought in there in 1986.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Wow, when I was 5.
1986, that's right. So it wasn't developed at all. Now a lot of things takes 20, 25, 30 years.
It takes time.
A lot of people plan. That's why if you're not planning 10, 20, 30 years, you're behind.
You'll be already.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Because they are planning right now for the future. A lot of people only think that there's here and now, and that's all that matters. Think about this, Hyacinth. There are millions and millions and millions of people who have come to the planet, died, and no one they didn't make a mark. You don't even know they was here.
Right. They didn't leave a mark.
They didn't leave a mark. They just came, existed, survived, and they're in the grave.
Now they're gone.
Other than their personal family might know. But most of us don't know. They didn't really do anything.
So when you think about that, you think about leaving a mark and think about changing, thinking about environments. I wanted to bring to the show to ask our listeners to just put this in your hat, right? Think about how you've changed, because there can be a negative stigma depending on the people that you're around, where they tell you that you changing is something bad. And they say it with a negative undertone. Oh, man, you changed. So I want you to ask yourselves, how have you changed? How is your environment differ from 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 12 months ago? Because the thing is, the days add up to months, and then the months add up to years. It reminds me of, I remember this was years ago. Let's see, my baby will be 21 in August. So she probably was like 4 or 5 around this time. Do you remember I would leave the office and I would check into a hotel for the weekend, and I would say, I'm going over. I would go over to Trump Towers. Is Trump Towers still there?
Yeah, but I was hoping you didn't have to call a name. But
it's not
to a hotel.
It's
you into a hotel.
So we gonna hang the man for the rest of his life. We gonna change.
I don't know the man. Just a hotel.
All right, is it
you checked into a luxury hotel.
I checked into a luxury hotel, but back then I guess he was on everybody's TV. Everybody loved him, right?
Yeah. But
see how high?
The point is,
ooh, you bad.
The point is, you checked into a luxury hotel.
I would leave my environment, and so at that time, and Kyla was probably younger than that, but at that time, I was living in an environment that was not the same as a luxury hotel.
Yeah, you wasn't living with me. You was living with your mama, Joy.
Well, we'll go there another day.
All right.
Well, the
I
point.
People think I was in the dump. No, you was living with. He was living with my ex-wife.
Oh gosh, that's funny. It taught me a lot though. We didn't have central AC.
I bet it did. It teach you a lot.
You're a mess.
Taught you a lot. Yes, it did. It taught you a lot. We don't want to go there.
But I had sense enough to, once a month or something like that, I would leave and I would go stay at the luxury hotel. Sometimes I would stay at different hotels. You finished?
Go ahead.
You did leave.
I did. I like, oh, Lord Jesus.
You did. You're like, oh, I got to get out of here.
I got to go.
You got to go. Okay.
You can have it. Have it all.
Oh, goodness. Okay, bring it back.
So mentally, you need to get somewhere else where the environment.
It did so much for me.
Yeah.
It did. I mean, sometimes I would go out maybe like once, but for the most part, out of the weekend, I would order room service. I would walk around the hotel, get in their pool, engage in their activities because I needed to see something different. I needed to stretch my mindset than what I was going home to every day at that time. And so now you think about how many years ago that was. It's like 15 years ago. And now here it is. I'm going to, I got to go to the training next week in Atlanta. Do you know how long it took me to book a hotel?
I'm pretty sure it took you a long time because you're so peculiar about food. It takes you long to find something to eat. I mean, you're so peculiar about the eating, the reviews, all of this. Now, and you same thing with the hotel.
I am, but
you're gonna go to sleep, wake up, and go. Okay.
I heard you saying that. That's why I just settled for a hotel because the ones
I wouldn't stay in a dump. I mean,
no. I'm definitely not staying in the dump. But certain things,
it don't have to be the Swiss Chazy.
Well,
Yeah,
the
I
only
know.
thing is, the Z, they started having bad reviews. So I was looking, I'm like, why are they having these bad reviews?
What they
Is
having
it
the
because of,
conferences?
is it because, oh, I'm definitely not staying there. They
Oh,
allow
okay.
pets in that hotel.
Yeah,
I'm not
okay.
staying where they're having a conference. I
We
don't,
got pet lovers here, you know.
but
Some
I'm not. It's
a lot of
okay.
people watching
It's
this
okay
love
for me to
pets.
stay. I don't want
Okay.
to sleep in a hotel where your
Okay.
dog been sleeping in the
All right.
bed.
So you found a hotel, luxury.
Environment. So just
Okay.
thinking back how back then, my environment has shifted with the little actions that I've taken, with stretching my mindset, stretching my environment, saying, I want to be around luxury. I want to be around. I've made my home very comfortable. And the reason why it was hard for me to book a hotel, because I'm like, I'm not going to stay for a weekend somewhere that is don't feel like home. But it's important for our listeners to think about their environments and what they do to stretch their mindset so that they can shape their future. What do you think about that?
Well, when you said that, I think about the people that call us all the time about these timeshares.
Mm-hmm.
And people buy timeshares because when they're out of town on vacation, they get, they get $100 or whatever free tickets, especially in Orlando, to visit a timeshare. And when they go look at this timeshare, they see, oh my God, look how beautiful, and the place always looks better than where they live.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're right.
Okay, so that's
You're
the
right.
draw on a timeshare
You're right.
because they want to change their environment for 1 week out of the year. Never mind, the timeshare may cost $25, $30, $40, $50,000, and they tell the people, hey, you can live here and you can vacation here for 1 week for the rest of your life. It costs $40,000, $50,000, and you put a down payment on. You know how many people that are looking, as you say, to change their environment just to get away so they can feel good. And when they buy those timeshare, it's like Hotel California.
You can check in, but you can't check out.
You can check in, but you can't check out. You be done paid the timeshare off, and you still paying that maintenance forever. And
Well-
you can't sell it forever. And that's all because of mindset. And they don't.
So what are you suggesting? Are you suggesting that people who are in a certain environment and they want more is just to stay in your current environment without stretching yourself? What is that? What you're suggesting, Mr. Henderson?
No,
What
no,
are you suggesting?
no. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you need to. It's okay if you get away, but the timeshare shares. They use that same entry to sell people on timeshares what they stuck with. I understand, and that was the marketing of the timeshare. This is what Hyacinth said. There are millions of people that feel like that. Why don't we give them something permanently?
So
And
here's
then
the
it
middle
becomes-
ground.
And then it becomes gum on your shoe.
Right.
And
Well, if
can't
you
get
let
rid
it,
of
if you don't know. So the middle ground is you go, you take the 90-minute tour, you get the free tickets to Disney World, and then you go on about your business, right? But then and so the middle ground is you understand that there is more. That's the entire point of this. You don't have to check into a luxury hotel. I am an advocate of you driving through neighborhoods that you don't currently live in. They may be 15 to 20 minutes outside of your comfort zone, outside of your house, outside of your employer, but you driving, you being in the environment. Look at how the stoplights are in a different neighborhood. I mean, think about that. You will be surprised. This neighborhood over here has sidewalks, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, like where I live right now, you never see paper or cans or anything on the ground. Even if some young kids could visit in my neighborhood and they throw a Burger King or McDonald's, in 24 hours it's picked up. I don't pick it up.
Right.
It's picked up. And that's
Yeah.
that's how it is. But listen, I want to get back to that point. We can still, because we still got time. But that whole timeshare concept, and you're right, people want to get away, and that's the allure of the timeshare business. People showing them something, an environment where it's swimming pools, tennis courts, recreations, a nice timeshare where it's all clean and they can feel they can get away, like you're saying. It's been about 15, 16 years. Even that, there's a better way to take advantage of that timeshare like that and get away. It's a better way than paying 10, 20, 40, 50,000. You can pay less than $1,000. Remember when I got into, an attorney told me about how to take advantage of timeshares to do the same getaway, and for $350 you could use the timeshares, and you can pick one in Orlando, New York, Hawaii, or whatever, and that's when I started.
I remember.
That is the same concept, but it's a different way. And we were talking about how in the science of getting rich, doing things
In a certain way.
Now,
Absolutely.
you and I, we went to Hawaii.
We did.
for the first time
Mm-hmm.
on a timeshare.
Mm-hmm. We sure did.
It cost $350
Yes.
for the week.
Yes.
We got two of them
Yes.
because we wanted two buildings,
Right.
two units,
Right.
and it was $350 for 7 days. And the people kept trying to sell us that, saying, "Come back here for the rest of your life." I said, "No, because for $350, we can go to any timeshare in the world
yeah.
for a week."
Mm-hmm.
That, in the science of getting rich, that achieves the same that achieves the same goal,
Right.
but doing it in a different
way. Yes.
Understand?
Yes. Same.
Doing things in a certain way.
Yeah. Same destination,
Yes.
but a different journey. Yeah. Different journey gets you to your destination.
And it costs.
And it costs less.
It don't cost, and you ain't
It's
paying
more
no,
cost
when you pay
effective.
$350, you ain't paying monthly. There's no maintenance fees. Anytime you want to use it, just say, "Hey, I want to go somewhere." That's
And you
$350.
go.
Las Vegas, I want to be on the strip. $350
Yes.
for the week, 7 days.
Yeah.
So that's.
Please don't call the office asking for this. I want you to know,
think
please.
people gonna call
Oh
and-
gosh, please don't.
They're not
Please.
gonna call. They're not gonna call.
Okay.
They're
All
not
right.
gonna
Now,
call. I just want y'all to know there's a better way in doing that. At the Henderson Financial Group, that's what we're about. We always trying to find out how can we do something a better way. There's always a better way. It's just because you don't know it doesn't mean it exists. That's what makes us who we are. That's what we're after. Because we know that there's so many things that you don't know about. And even changing the environment, you can change your environment for a more cost-effective way than buying a timeshare. If you're about to buy a timeshare, please don't buy no timeshare.
oh my goodness.
It's like gum on your shoe. It's
So-
like Hotel California.
Okay.
I'll at least if you want to buy a timeshare, call me and I'll tell you how you
Here
can
we go.
buy
Here
it.
we go.
You have to charge a fee for that.
Here we go. You got to.
Charge a fee?
You have
If
to.
it's only like $350.
You,
and it's
because
for
here's the
life.
thing. I can see the
$500.
call log now. Such and such call. Such and such call. They call. You didn't call him back in 5 minutes. You didn't call back yesterday. No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said don't. We want to tell you about it, but sorry.
Well,
Research.
what if you become a client?
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, if you're a client and you
Right.
don't know, then I'll
Yeah, so all the clients and those that will
But if you ain't no
eventually come.
client, if you ain't no client, I ain't gonna show you.
We've been there, done that. You just talked about this on the radio before.
I did.
Absolutely. And then the calls, I'm like, well, why are they doing
Only
this?
for people who are already clients. I'm
Yes.
gonna show you
Okay.
how to do things
Yeah.
in a certain way.
Right.
That's it.
So let's talk about your environment, because you grew up Junebug and Opalaka.
Yeah.
Junebug and Opalaka,
Yeah.
and now look at you,
Yeah,
Robert
yeah.
Henderson Jr., founder of the Henderson Financial
You know,
Group.
that was so good for me growing up in Opalaka. There's no palm trees. There was no lakes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was no sidewalks. You know, there were beer cans or whatever.
But how did you get out of that? Because this morning, and this is another reason that prompted this conversation, I was thinking to myself, I was like, gosh, if people are still selling drugs right now, I can kind of understand. Let me watch my words, right? So I knew back in the days, there weren't many options. We didn't have the internet and things like that for our people. So yes, I can kind of understand why selling drugs was a thing. But now in 2021, if you're selling drugs, I'm like, why? But then LaVoy said Hyacinth, environment, their environment, they may not know, they may not be aware. So there goes that empathizing. And then I said, let's bring this conversation to the table. So you, Junebug, growing up in Opalaka, beer cans, you had the triangle. There was like Murder City at one point, right? How did you break free and change your environment so that you can then do something different and live in a different space and have a different lifestyle?
Well, one good thing that I paid attention. I really
Okay.
did. I've always paid attention. Even now at 62 years old, I'm always paying attention. My ears and eyes are, I am looking around. I am looking at results. I'm looking at, results, a cause and effect. And looking around, I'm like, okay, well, I guess the people in this neighborhood, with no sidewalks and, and all what's going on. I mean, one thing, Heisey, I used to go to the movies and I watched movies. Watching movies, I would see, scenes of, people in restaurants, in New York, having nice little wine glasses, and even Central Park. I remember seeing Central Park and said one day I want to go to Central Park. Hearing
Okay.
about Central Park,
Okay.
And I said, okay, that's something where to go. I remember seeing, scenes about Africa. And I said, one day I want to go to Africa. I remember watching movies and they'll be on ski slopes. And I said, I want to do that.
Did you share this with your mom or your siblings at that time? Did you say, one day I'm going to Africa or I'm going to Central Park? Did you share this with them?
No.
Okay.
I didn't.
I think that's important.
No, because I was having a conversation with myself.
Good.
See, I've always known that I've always had this relationship with myself, you know. I will talk to me more and I still do. I talk to others, me more than I talk to others. And I said that. And I said one day, I remember saying that, you know. I remember saying I want to go to skiing. And I remember when I did it.
Now, I'm sure if I asked my granny now if you would have shared that with her, what her response would have been. She would have said, oh, I would have said, yeah, boy, you're going to do it. But you knowing your mom, if you would have shared that with her and said, you know what, Mom, one day I'm going to be skiing and I'm going to be doing this and all that, what do you think her response would have been?
Well, you know, when I was so lazy because I didn't want to do any chores, my job was to clean up the bathroom all the time. I didn't want to work. My sisters and them would wash the dishes. I didn't have to wash dishes. I was supposed to clean up the bathroom. I hated cleaning up the bathroom. You know, a lot of times I would make excuse, and I made sure I joined baseball team, basketball team, football team, and
so you have time.
So I don't have time. And my sisters would complain, saying, "Why he always gone?"
Okay.
And mother said, "Hey, he was doing sports." But I always hated doing manual labor because it just didn't make a lot of sense to me. Because you know why?
Why?
Because it would get dirty again.
So you're like, why am I cleaning this up? And they going to come right in here right when I'm finished.
Yeah.
And it's going to get dirty again.
Yeah. If I clean it up and then next thing my sister would come in and mess it up, I'd have a fit. Like,
right.
Look what y'all done in my masterpiece. So I'm like, that makes absolutely no sense to me. That's how my little mind was thinking. But listen, my mom would tell me, listen, son, you sorry. You know, right now, if you ask your grandma, she'll say that on the Saturdays, she would wake me up because she would be cutting the yard, coming past the window where I was sleeping, and I'd still be sleeping.
Oh, wow.
And she would say, boy, you so sorry. You heard me cutting that yard. You didn't want to get up? I'm like, no, I don't want to cut no yard. You know?
Why would I want to do that?
Why would I want to do that? I mean, why would I want As a matter of fact, this past weekend, I was riding my bike with Iva. We did 30 miles.
Wow.
And we went to past a neighborhood, and there was a guy out there cutting his yard. And I said, oh, my God, look at this guy. He's cutting his yard. I think the last time I cut a yard, I think I was like 12. And that was it. I cut the yard. I'm like, I ain't doing this.
Right, no more.
It makes no sense. You know why? Because you're going to grow the next week. And I didn't want to do nothing that it wasn't going to change and grow. You know, I wanted to build. I don't know.
So she would tell you you're going to be lazy. You lazy?
She said, boy, listen here. She said, I don't know what you're going to do. You're so lazy. You don't know how to cook. You don't know how to clean. You know? She says, you know, what if you don't get a wife? That's what she said to me. What if you don't get a wife? How are you going to take care of yourself?
Wow.
You know what I told her? Mom, I'm going to have some money.
Okay.
I'm going to get a wife.
Okay.
I'm going to get a wife, and I'm going to have somebody cook and clean. And I mean, the wife cooking and cleaning, I'm going to have maid serve cooking and cleaning. I said, I'm going to have somebody. She'll tell you that right now. You make sure you ask her.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She will tell you when I was young, I said, and then when she used to say that she didn't have no money and she working 3 jobs, I said, Mom, remember, I've always been a logical person. So wait a minute. You go and clean white people's houses. You are a custodian at the high school. And you work at the pickle factory. And when I say, Mama, can you give me some money? You say, boy, I ain't got no money. Something not adding up. I said, why would anybody work all the time just to pay bills? That's not living. And I remember saying, I am a kid. I want to figure this out, what life is. I don't want to look forward to saying I'm going to have to work paycheck to paycheck, pay.
Or wait till I get paid.
And pay my bills. Right. And that's my life. I want to really see.
You want it different.
Life. And that's what that was in my mind. Now you ask me, did I tell my friends and everybody? No.
You know, I asked that for a specific reason. I'm glad to hear that you didn't.
No.
And I'm so glad that you shared your story, because oftentimes what happens is we'll be so excited. We'll watch something, we'll learn about something, and we want to tell others, right? Because we want them to get out of their current environment as well. And so we'll share that. And as soon as we share it, it's met with energy of the opposing force. And it's, no, what are you talking about, man? How you going to do that? Imagine if you would have told your friends and they'd be like, boy, we in Opalaka. How you going to do that? So the note and the message is for our listeners is you can change your environment. As Mr. Henderson shared, be mindful of the environment that you're in. But some stuff you got to keep to your chest. You got to keep it close to your chest. right? So as you're looking and you're making a decision and saying, I don't want to be in this environment for the next 20, 30 years. I know that there is a better way. Ask yourself, how are you going to achieve that goal? What are you going to do to shift your environment so that you can be in the environment that you want to be in?
Yeah.
And I think a very big dream killer is people.
Yes.
They don't mean to kill your dreams, but they kill them all left and right.
I remember the first time, let me see, I'm 62, so 32 years ago was the first time I went snow skiing. And now I told Linda, I told Mom, I told people, I said, listen, you know what? I want to go snow skiing. They say, snow skiing? Why you want to do that? They say, white people do that. I said, I've never been on top of a mountain, and I've seen it in the movies, and I want to ski down the slope. I think it'll be fun.
By this time you were 30, though.
I was 30 years old.
Okay.
I was 30
So you
years
had
old.
been through some stuff.
Yes.
You had grown. You had
Yes.
seen that when you put your mind to something, you can do it. That's important.
Yes.
So after you had achieved some things and you were mentally stronger
Yes.
to be able to say, hey, I want to go skiing. And so when you were met with the limiting mindset of that's white people behavior, why you want to do that, you still stuck to your dream.
Yeah, because I wanted to listen. You know, really, life is very precious to me. I mean, in the time that we're here, I think that we need to try to learn, explore, keep our ears and eyes, love, share, and figure this thing out. I mean, I really do. I mean, that's just how I think. I think that we need to try to learn. I think that we should constantly trying to better ourselves and know something, because there's so many secret societies out here that they keep stuff to themselves, and you don't even know that. It's more secret societies that you can't see than what you can see. All the ones you can see is more that you can't see.
And here's the thing: as you get tapped into the secret societies, you start to understand how they move, and then you can quickly identify those who are not in the secret societies.
Yes.
I know you're not on social media, but on social media, when I see someone oversharing.
Yes.
And clocking in and clocking out clocking every move on social media, I already know you're not a part of nobody's secret society. You ain't a part, and you really crying that night. You have a lot going on, and it's so interesting that as you shift, then you get to see that, oh wow, that people try to shame you, or they're a part of some society. I am, and you should be too.
But let me tell you something. Most people they are privy to the fraternities and sororities,
Yeah.
you know?
I'm not talking about
or
that.
if you're a Mason or whatever. No. I'm talking about the ones that you don't even know that you don't even know that you don't even know.
Yeah.
There's so many of them that are based on prosperity and economics. And you wonder why someone got this deal and the other one didn't. I mean, there's so many of them. And you're like, why nobody never told me?
Because you're on the internet acting a fool.
Yeah.
That's why.
So think about it. You know, just think about this for a second. There's things that we know. There's things that we know that we don't know. But the most powerful of all those two, of the three of them, the last one I'm about to say, there are things that you don't even know that you don't even know that you don't know.
Yes.
That's the magic.
Yeah.
That's where the rich, the powerful, people that are accomplishing, that's where they move.
In that space.
In that space.
Absolutely.
That's where
We got to seek more.
That's right.
I want to know what else there is that I don't even know.
That's right.
Yeah.
And being a person of color, you got to be on the grind trying to find that which you don't even know that you don't even know you don't know. How do you do that? Education. Now, I'm not talking about formal education. Finding out and being inquisitive and asking questions. How do you do that? You know? And getting with people who have accomplished things. Now, back to the environment. So with me dreaming, saying I want to go snow skiing.
And they told you no, but how did that end? Because
white
as I
people.
remember, groups of you all used to go skiing.
Yes.
So they listened to you.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Linda said, hey, I'm going. Mom was pregnant with Paris 32 years ago. So my cousin Jackie, it was probably about, at that time, it was probably about Milton Betty when it was probably about, I got about 10 of them.
Okay.
And they said, hey, that's a good idea. And none of us had never
been skiing before. Wow.
I had seen snow.
Right.
Everybody else had never seen snow. Mom had never seen snow. Linda had never seen snow. I seen snow from living in Chicago in Ohio.
Okay.
So I said, I remember the snow coming down. So that was new to them. So we went to Colorado. And man, we had a blast. And that was, you know, that's been a long time ago, you know? But I wanted to, and then I wanted more. And then when I came back, I said, you know what? I want to go scuba diving. And they say, why do you want to go scuba diving? I said, because I want to go under the sea and I want to see.
Yeah.
You know, because I had went to Cancun and I went snorkeling. And it was like an aquarium. And I seen all the beautiful Nemos and the fish. And I said, I want to go deeper. And I said, oh, my God. I didn't even know anybody. First of all, I never knew another person that went skiing, black.
Wow.
I never knew another person who went snorkeling. So me, I don't need to find another person that if I say I'm going to do it, then I'm going to do it. And I'm going to seek, ask, and find. And that's how I've always been.
So no need for external validation.
No
need for somebody to co-sign your idea.
No.
Once you have that inner knowing, that inner feeling like, hey, I want to explore this, then you act on it.
You know, I think, and I know that each and every one of us, in order to find our passion, who are we about, we are naturally explorers, but I think that most of us are fearful.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times when we get older, we regret the things that we didn't try. Isn't that something? And you can't go back because time is so precious. So having that fear and doubt will wipe you out. Me, I was blessed enough that I said, hey, you know, let's do it. I mean, I'm free. Thank God I wasn't born in the 1800s and was a slave. So now I'm like, okay, let's go and do it.
That's a great way to look at it when you say, thank God you weren't born in the 1800s. Because I know that a lot of times people take that for granted. The times that we're living in, they take it for granted. This morning I was taking your grandson to school. And normally in the mornings, I play a series of affirmations, a series of motivational tapes for him in the morning while we're home. And then when we are in the car, I listen to, it's about 10 minutes long, Feel So Good by Mangione. I think he's a saxophonist. Anyways,
Chuck Mangione.
Yes.
Chuck Mangione.
Yes. Feels so good, that track. So check that out. So we play that. And generally, I don't let him play one of his songs. I'm like, no, I'm set up your vibration so that when you walk into this school, you know how you're commanding your day. So this morning, I let him play. He said, Mommy, can I pick a song? I said, okay. He was like, what? So I let him play a song. And then afterwards, I took my phone back because I knew that he had already queued up a second song. So when I took my phone back, I put in Chuck Mangione to play next. And so when it came on, by now we know all the instrumental and everything. And when it came on, he was like, oh, man, I queued up another song. And he started to go down the rabbit hole of he only got one song and blah, blah, blah. And I said, wait a minute, let's change this vibration. I said, be thankful that you were able to listen to the one song because before you weren't listening to your song on the way to school. So when you say you're thankful and you're grateful that you don't live in the 1800s, we have to really own that and take that for what it is. It's like, wait a minute, with everything that's going on, can we stop and take a moment of gratitude that we are free right now?
Yes.
We have, for the most part. And here's the thing. Here's something I thought about this week. For the most part, the poor have access to the same education and information as the wealthy.
Yeah, think about that. I mean, a billionaire has the iPhone.
Thank you.
A poor person has an iPhone.
Thank you.
So mainly, we are encaged. We are trapped by our own thinking and our own mind.
Yes.
So me, I've never felt like that. Yes. I mean, I felt like, okay, let's do it. So I was able to explore, and I wanted to do things that I had never done, and I'm still like that now. And it's really, you know, I just told you about a book. You know what I mean? I said 2 books. You know, and I mean we read this, and why? Because there's so many people that are on a planet that have good ideas. And like I said, there's so many secret societies that you don't even know. And if you want to continue to prosper and grow, or if you want to be more than you got to be on your hunt, man. It's a study. You got to study yourself, and you got to study life. Because if you want better, you got to act on it. You know, it ain't just not going to come. You got to do. You got to be proactive. That's what I'm trying to say. And as before we started the show, I was telling Hyacinth, you know, we was talking about if it doesn't challenge you, it
won't
doesn't change you. Yeah. Now, if wherever you are now, if you want more and you want better, The only way you can see a difference, it has to be a change. Now, I just told you that if you're not doing something that challenges you, you can't change. In other words, a skinny man who has no muscles, 90 pounds, if he want to get buff, he can't go in the gym and lift a 1 pound of weight. It's not going to put pressure on his muscles. He's not going to be sore. He has to, or she has to lift something, force that's heavy, that seems difficult. But after they continue to do that, the next day, they're going to be sore. You can't give up. That's part of the progress. That's part of the equation. That's part of the system. You're going to be sore because you work some muscles that you normally didn't work. Some people just give up. It's the same with the mind. You're going to be studying something. You may fail. It may be hard. But, man, that's part of the game. Get back on it and work it. Because if you keep on working, let me tell you something. You will always win in terms of repetition.
Absolutely. Because you just keep showing up.
That's right.
And doing it.
You can never lose. Listen, you can wear it out. If you don't know something, just keep on going.
Yes.
Keep on doing it. If you don't know something, you don't know something, you don't know something,
Right.
you just keep on doing it. You're going to win. You know why? Because repetition going to wear it out.
Some got to
Next thing
give.
You know it.
Yes. Something has to give. Absolutely.
I want you to think about what I just said. Whatever it is you feel you don't know or you cannot do, think about it.
Stick with it.
You could defeat that not knowing or cannot do. How you do it? By repetition. 1 time, 2 times, 10, 100 times, doing it. You got it. Couldn't ride a bike? Just keep on falling down. Getting on there. Just keep on. One day you're not going to fall. You're going to be riding that bike with no hands.
But you got to keep going.
Yes.
And the challenge comes, a lot of the times it's a mental challenge.
But you know what, Heisey? Challenges and obstacles is part of the growth.
You know I know it.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder, good Lord, Jesus, Father, Creator, why is that?
We got to, I always tell myself as I'm being challenged and experiencing things, a little voice says, you say you wanted, let me see.
Yes, that's true.
Like you say you wanted, let me
That's
see.
true.
Because you
That's
can't,
true.
because if you, and in my mind, this is how I rationalize myself, right? If you cannot be consistent while you're going through the challenges, how are you going to be consistent when the opportunity is right here in front of you? You may not see the opportunity for what it is. You may, trick off the opportunity because you didn't work for it. You didn't have the blood, sweat, and the tears, the consistency. You didn't consistently show up before it came in front of you. So now, it's almost like your ex-wife. She want me to cook. Y'all know I can't cook. I can't cook, but I'm not cooking every day.
Yeah.
And she want old down-home food, a lot of stuff me and my kids don't eat. So every now and again, I'll say, okay, I'm going to cook. I cooked some oxtails. I think it was last week I cooked oxtails, yams, greens, cornbread. I cooked all this. And I'd rather be on my laptop.
Yeah.
Working.
Yeah.
She ate it one time. Oh, it's so good. The next day you went for, oh no, what? Not today.
That's my ex-wife.
Oh no.
That sounds like her.
So
Same
now
thing.
I'm like, you won't catch me slipping again.
That's her.
You won't catch because, and the thing is,
You gotta learn how to cook little portions, like one little cornbread.
how you do that?
I don't know. You just cook one cornbread. Get one. Find out. Invent one muffin pan.
No. It's frozen meals.
Get
No.
one sweet potato.
I'm not doing that. I'm not. I'm taking. But the thing,
a cup of collard greens.
I'm gonna let you go ahead.
Get a cup of collard greens. Get a
But
cup of chicken wings.
The thing is, so I do the chicken wings like that, and the same thing will happen. But the thing is, if you're not in the kitchen preparing the meal and cleaning the chicken, and I hate cleaning chicken, y'all. That's one of the things I do not enjoy doing. It's cleaning chicken. If you're not in there peeling the potatoes and doing all of these things, and it's served to you, and you're like, oh, okay, oh, this is so good, that hype is gonna leave.
Well, Heisey, doing things in a certain way. You can go to Lona's or Trick Daddy or one of these restaurants.
That's what she said too. I'm not doing that. We don't eat out a lot.
No, but what I'm trying to say, you can go, instead of you cooking and doing all that, you can order that Uber Eats. When it gets there, you can put that stuff in a plate and serve it to her and stay on your laptop, not miss a beat. It's doing things in a certain way.
I'm not doing that.
Listen, what we're talking about, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. And what separates you, me, and I, and all of us from the rest of the world is how we think and how we do things in a certain way. And remember that. That's the whole point that I'm trying to work. Environment
matters.
Matters because it should tell you what you want or what you don't want.
Yes, especially, say it again, it tells you what you don't want.
Well, listen, environment tells you either what you want, or what you don't want.
And I love that, because a lot of times we look at our environment or the experiences that we're in, and we just harp on that. Oh, woe is me. Why am I? Hey, this is an indicator. That's a red flag that, hey, you don't want to be here. Get up out of here.
Yes, and some people want to be there. Some people want to be in the combat zone. Some people
You
want
think
to
so?
be Hyacinth.
You think people want to be in the combat zone?
Now, unless they shackled, unless there's a big fence around.
Oh my gosh!
They got,
Here we go.
Now they're in jail. They don't want to be there, but they're in jail. When you're in an environment that's like hell, and you're not doing anything, and you're free to think and to explore and to learn and do things repetitiously, then your actions speak louder than your words.
For me, and so here's where I believe that this is where the healing work comes in. This is why you need support and things like that. Because let's just take what you're saying. So let's
and tell me about the support, because I ain't had no daddy. I had a drunk daddy.
You different. You different. You the chosen one. You the big kahuna. We're all different. We all have we all have different DNA.
Fingerprints.
But there are some people who've gone through different experiences in this life and their previous lives.
I understand that, but you can read about this
but
person,
they ain't.
and you know you could. But that's the choice.
They need
The creator
support.
says, listen, I'm not going to make y'all robots, even though I just had a conversation with Ivo that said we are really all robots.
Okay.
It was interesting.
It's very interesting. I got to hear about that.
That was very interesting. We was riding our bike on a 30-mile journey, and he really thinks that we are human robots.
Tell me more about that. I think we got time. Give me 3 to 5 minutes.
That was fascinating. I said, Ivo, I've never heard that before.
Did you drink the Kool-Aid?
I didn't drink the Kool-Aid, but remember, I'm always open.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And he says that he believes that we're all robots.
So who's the programmer?
He says the creator
Programs us.
Yes.
And so is that where destiny comes in?
Yes.
And so what about the free will component?
That's part of what we was going to do.
Okay, so
I already know that we're going to do it.
So if I take away the word robot, then I can understand that concept, that we have a divine destiny as well as free will.
Right.
Okay.
Because the reason why I said that his philosophy was, now I was an educated guy. He lives in my neighborhood, so on Sunday we go ride 25, 30 miles, and we're riding, and we have these helmets that we can talk to each other on, you know? And this guy's an anesthetist, okay? You know what I mean? He gives you the propofol, give you the drug, knock you out, and stuff like that. And he has patience all day, you know? It makes it really good.
He still work?
But you know what?
I don't know why I thought he was retired.
He did retire, but they called him back.
Oh, to come give
some
some
more. So
more.
he goes in and make googogs of money, you know, maybe 2 or 3 times a week.
Whenever he gets ready.
Whenever he gets ready.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. So we have this interesting conversation, you know? This guy's so good. I love this guy, man. So we have a conversation. He's like, matter of fact, he's 68 years old, man.
Wow, yeah, that's not.
And we're doing it 25, 30. He's his friends. People don't believe that he's riding.
Wow.
but this guy's a good guy. Anyway, so he says that we are already human robots.
Okay.
Because I said, Ivo, you know, I really cannot take credit of the way I think. I didn't make myself think the way I think. I just think like that. He says, Robert, that's because you're programmed like that. You are.
So I think the term robot is the shock factor, right? But have you heard of human design? It's a concept of human design.
Same principle.
Right. I was gonna say, but he's just using robot. Human design as far as how we're made up, our DNA. Human design is kind of like science meets spirituality.
Yeah.
So if you're not familiar with that concept, Google it. Human design. And you'll go down, if you go down that rabbit hole and you're consistent with that, you can literally change your entire life by getting to know, as Ivor says, your programming.
Yes.
Right? It's like you're saying, okay, if I'm a robot or if I'm programmed, what's my makeup? How am I made up? Do I thrive in these conversations or these environments or not? And so then you'll start to navigate the world accordingly.
Yeah, because I remember one time at a young age, I went and I started researching what gives each and every one of us desires. Why do I desire? And my cousins, you know, that grew up in Opelika, they were doing drugs and getting drunk and all that, and we all grew up. You know, we had the same environment. Why did I look at the environment and why I wanted out and one better, and they didn't? And I used to ask myself, who? Nobody told me. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have no mentor to say, Robert, do this, do that, do that. I didn't have no mentor. So when people say you need a mentor, I can't sign off on that. When people say you need a daddy, can't sign off on that. I just can't sign off on that. My mother my mother was my first encounter with love. She taught me how to nurse and love and be patient and all that. And that's why I have a good relationship with women.
You can do it without a mentor and you can do it without a daddy. However, because just in the same token, in the same breath, Granny was a great mother or is a great mother. not everybody mama is a great mama.
But listen, how you say it's just not me. You have some mama that was crackheads. Listen, you have some mom and daddy was crackheads. You have people that was living in the car and they.
I still believe
there's
that.
all kind of stories. If that's why I research and I want to find out who gives desire and where desire comes from.
Yes, and sometimes we need assistance. We need people to assist us along in our journey.
Nobody goes through this journey alone. Nobody's
Okay, so
self-made.
then that's when you talk about mentors. That's when you talk about
Along
people
the path.
who along the path. Absolutely.
Yes,
So
nobody makes themselves.
while you may not need them, they surely do make your journey, or they can make your journey a lot easier.
Listen, I had people, black, white, all kind of people, good, bad, that I was learning from. I learned, matter of fact, every person, the drug dealer, oh my God, the drug dealer. I learned so much from the drug dealer. I never sold drugs, but I watched him. And we were good friends. We would go have lunch and everything. Matter of fact, DA said, "What's y'all connection?" I said, I almost like was just
Studying that mind, right?
studying that mindset.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
we were good
mentality.
friends. Go
Yeah.
to a basketball game. They were like, "Hold on, Henderson. I think you a drug. I think you the kingpin, Henderson." I'm like,
Right.
"No, I'm not.
No.
If y'all really who y'all say y'all are,
Right.
y'all know that
Right.
I'm not. You know what I mean?" But I learned a lot from this guy. This guy was really precise. Really, it was a couple of them. You know what I mean? So, and then I learned from my cousin who was shooting heroin. I learned, and I was, and this guy was working and actually stealing. He had a family, was taking care of his habit and his family
From stealing.
from stealing.
Right, stealing meat.
And I never downed him. I was too busy observing and doing my own research and watching my environment to say, okay, I don't want that. I mean, think about it. When you heard about Mike Tyson, blew $300 million. Some people criticize him, but I learned he showed us what not to do.
Exactly.
That was a lesson. All of these are lessons. So it's not, you don't really have time to put people down. It's for you. If you're hearing about it, your eyesight, it's in your consciousness, it's something you need to learn from that. And that's how I look at it even now.
Me too.
So when you look at it like that and you go, oh, but I still kept saying, what gave me the desire? Because I didn't create myself.
Well, the way that you're designed, your human design,
That's
your makeup.
when I will start saying,
Yeah.
I was designed like
Yeah.
this, and I'm saying, okay. So
And does he
people
know about human design? Introduce him that concept.
human design? No, he just figured like his concept is
Right.
God created us to
As robots.
as robots.
Yeah, but that's good because and even thinking about that, it reminds me a lot of religion, right? So same concept, but people have different names for it.
Oh yeah.
So I can let him have his and say, hey, we're all robots.
Yeah.
And then I can say, oh, that's the human design system.
Yeah.
But the point is you have to be seeking and really, as soon as you realize that there is more to you and to this entire world than meets the eye, your whole life can change.
And that's very profound. You said that. I think that's the problem. Most people think that what they know and what they see in the
It's
mirror,
all.
it's all. That's it. That's limitation.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
We are way better than we even imagine
Yes.
that we are.
Yeah.
Each and every one of us.
Yeah.
We really are. But we haven't been convinced. I guess because this whole education, especially in America, is so limited. Plus, it's a bunch of lies.
I think social media plays a big part in it too.
What you mean? How?
So,
What way?
so because social media is an environment as well, right? So if you're watching this, I want you to encourage you to once a week have a no social media day. Have a full day of no social media. And I know that for some of y'all who wake up and you roll over and you check your social media before you even brush your teeth, that may be a challenge, right? So have a full day of no social media and watch how you interact, watch how you engage, watch how you respond. Because when you open this little app on your phone, you are entered immediately into different environments that can have your mind thinking that that's your reality.
So
It'll have you all screwed
So
up.
by me not being on social media, you think that's helping me?
1,000%.
Oh, because I don't be on social media.
Oh
at
my
all.
gosh, 1,000%.
Oh.
You are living a more fuller life by not having a social media on your
I
phone.
always thought there was cruel people. Oh my God, people you don't know that hide behind the curtain and say stuff, kill yourself, and all that.
And so that's one aspect. And I would always say, well, Mr. Henderson, there's more to social media than
You're
that.
James T says social media. Says you, Linda,
Yes.
James T. Y'all bringing me. Say I'm come out of the storm edge. But listen, I'm focused on what I want to learn and what I want to do.
See,
And to find out things that I don't know. That I don't know. You know.
and most people don't have the balance.
Oh.
That's the thing. You don't, so you can go down And believe it or not, it's programming your subconscious. When you look at a series of pictures over and over again, this goes to speak to your timeline. When you look at a series of pictures and a series of words, you start to believe that that is the truth. That is gospel. You start to believe that that is reality. So you go back to your environment and you're like, wait a minute, everybody's on the internet. They're bling blinging or they're taking vacations. You know, this person is in Aruba. This person is in Jamaica. You don't have $100 to your name. And saved in your bank account, but your next check you're gonna get it and go and put that on the trip to Jamaica, or maybe you may charge it to a card because you see the people doing this and you start to believe that's what you should be doing.
Oh, okay.
So it definitely take a social media day.
So it takes care of your mind. It controls your mind. It's mind control.
It can control your mind.
Oh.
You have to be, and then if you look around and see what people are posting, you can see the ones who their mind is being controlled.
Oh, see, I don't post. I don't have no Facebook. I don't do none of that. I mean, I don't do none of that. I mean,
and at this age, I mean, please, at 62, come on, please don't get a social media.
No, I don't. Yeah. I don't have time for it. So many things I want to do.
Yeah,
I want to focus.
Good, stay focused. We got to walk through these walls.
Yes.
And fly.
Man, you got to fix it. We don't know if anybody posting. We can't see it.
Yeah.
Before. You got to call. Somebody you can call?
I'm sure I could call Zuck. Mark. Hey, Mark. Zuckerberg?
Yeah, call Zuck.
Call Zuck and tell him, hey, we can't see the comments. So if you're out there listening, thank you so much for being here today. Due to the new back office on Facebook Live producer, if that's the correct term, we aren't able to see the comments. I can see that we have 5 comments, but I don't know who the comments are from. I also can see that nobody has shared this video yet. So if you have not shared it, be sure to share it.
Share. We said some good stuff. Something to say, come on, share. Can we get at least one person to share? Share this stuff. Don't keep it to yourself. Share
it. If you're moved to, then share it. All right. So later on this evening, stay tuned for the Rising Solution. That's at 7 p.m. with Antonio Woodbury and No Facebook Tavares. And then on Saturday morning, the last day of the week, Saturday morning at 8 a.m. bright and early, we have the Understanding Money Show. And then at 9:30, quick in and out from 9:30 to 10 a.m., I am up for the American Cream. And then at 10:15, you have the Understanding Money Part 2 with Robert Henderson and James T. As a matter of fact, I think today's James T's birthday.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to send him a text.
Yeah. Happiest birthday. I believe I'm correct that today is your birthday. So we're wishing you a very happy birthday. Thank you for being a part of our lives. Thank you for all the encouragement and the support that you share with the Henderson Financial Group. Until next time, you all stay safe and stay sane. Peace.